One of the most unique stories you're ever going to hear. Our next guest survived the 9/11 attacks at the World Trade Center on the 61st floor. As a result, he decided to enlist in the Marines. Now he's back from serving in Iraq and in the Marines. Joining us now, former United States Marine Corporal Mark Finelli. Mark, welcome.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
First off, on the 61st floor, do you ever forget it?
No, I think about it
every day.
Every single day. You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple nights ago, and you know, I talk about it a lot, and he said, "Well, you know, people don't want to hear about it," but unfortunately, that might be part of the problem. We do need to remember what happened, and we have to do everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen again.
You're making a great living. The Marines is rewarding, financially not rewarding, especially compared to what you were doing. How did you find your 4 years?
I've never learned so much than when I was a Marine. It's the greatest honor I've ever had. Sure, you don't make a lot of, you know, you don't have a lot of financial gain, but certainly everything else you do there, it evens out.
Right. You were there in Iraq for how long?
7 months.
And what was it like?
Well, before I left for Iraq, I was continually told, you know, I was nervous and I was scared, and everybody in my unit had been there at least once before, and they said, "Listen, you have to relax. It's tough, but it's not what you think it is." And I got there and I realized what they were saying was true. It's still a horrible situation. You know, I've lost friends. We've all lost friends in Iraq. But it's not like it looks like on TV most of the time. You know, it's a very large country. How
could we better portray the reality on the ground?
Well, unfortunately in the media, and you know this from being you know,
here.
And here, if it bleeds, it leads. That's what I always hear. But maybe it's not so entertaining to see the Marines build a school in Iraq, or you know, the Marines handing out
pave a road, lay sewers.
It's not. It doesn't sell airtime.
Yeah, throw soccer balls to the kids.
Absolutely, but the violence, you know, that's interesting to people. So that's what they want to see.
The Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. What's it about?
It's about helping put the children of fallen Marines through college, and some of the things I'm doing. I'm in the process of finding a co-writer and a publisher for a rough draft of a book I've written. I'm going to donate a portion of the proceeds of that to the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. It helps, you know, I've been to the funerals where it's a pregnant wife and, you know, 3 little kids, and you want to help them out. Someone dies in the military, the government provides them, I think, roughly $500,000.
Right.
But you know you have kids, that's not that much money.
And you know the faces of these are your friends, and not only are they some people you see on television and you feel for, you actually know the people behind it. And how do we find out more about it?
www.mc-lef.org.
Okay, and we have your myspace.com draft Finelli. And you're for the draft, by the way.
I am for the draft. This isn't, you know, because I want more war. I want less war, and I make a very strong argument in my blog that if the draft came back on September 12th, we may not have even had to invade Iraq. I know it's kind of a roundabout thing. I can't really explain it on the right here, but you know, Ronald Reagan said, you know, the best way to keep the peace is prepare for war, and Metallica said it in a song too, so it must be true.
I'll go with Reagan.
Yeah,
you know, no problem. Hey, Mark, great job. Very few people have experienced what you've experienced over the last 5 years. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and we'll stay in touch, especially as this war unfolds, and hopefully the surge continues to work.